that's not live. I'm sorry.
What?
Microphone.
Oh,
Microphone,
you know
check
what? Duh. And this. Instagram.
See, right.
Don't you start, Missy.
In the meantime, we have a great topic tonight. We're talking about borrowing or lending money, and not just in the context of relationships, but I mean friends, family, whatever that looks like
Whatever
after age
relationship.
50.
Right.
We're talking about it tonight, and you know everything is fair game. If you got a horror story, do share it. If you have something that's topically significant, please share it. And I'm gonna shout out our Sunday event in the intro.
Please.
We have an event on Sunday from 3 to 6 p.m. at Fatburger, 825 East 87th Street. We're going to be there from 3 to 6. We're going to have music by DJ Clay. You're going to get to sample some great Fatburger food
DJ Clay, Fat
and
Burger
shakes.
Food.
And you're going to have very lively and spirited conversation. It's going to be a good time, and we're really looking forward to seeing you. It's been a while since we've been out there, or since we've been out and done a live, and we are really, really, really looking forward to it. So come out Sunday, 3 to 6 p.m., Fatburger, 825 East 87th Street.
That's right.
Yay.
I'm super excited about it.
I am too. It's been our hiatus has been too long, and I like seeing people in person.
I love hearing what they have to say about these
The topics.
yeah.
Yes.
You know, we love reading the comments.
Yep.
That's wonderful. We love the engagement, but it's nothing like
in person.
But just,
That
just the
energy is
energy
just-
that, and I'm glad
Yes.
you got to that, because that
It's
energy,
explosive,
right?
right?
The people are having a good time.
Yeah.
We're having a good
Yes.
time.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Clay coming behind us on the turntables. You got food. It's gonna be a really good time. I always enjoy myself there. Sometimes too much.
Sometimes too much. But you know, another thing is, I think at an in-person, sometimes people are so passionate about their perspectives that you do leave sometimes like, you know what? I never thought about it like that. You know what I mean? Or I never fathomed that I could
I agree.
go there.
I agree.
And yeah.
Even when I don't agree with people's perspectives, I still see the logic in how they're thinking.
Yeah.
I may not agree with how they're doing something, but I get the logic.
Yeah, for sure.
I like the interplay between, because there are people that are going to come, and I mean, it's not, you don't have to say anything.
Right.
True. You don't.
So there are definitely people that are there to observe and to
Yeah.
enjoy and whatever else. But then there are people, who definitely have something to say.
A lot. And I enjoy those people immensely.
Yes, sometimes it's comical, sometimes it's insightful.
Sometimes it's heart-wrenching.
Yeah,
It's
so-
just a lot of different things.
But
that are happening.
it's really,
different
really
places.
good. You go through the whole gamut of human emotions
Absolutely.
at one of our in-persons.
So that's what we're looking forward to. We are looking forward to it. You guys come on out and soak it all up.
Yes.
We all leave with new perspectives and just viewpoints. It's pretty amazing. You guys are amazing. But let's get to this amazing topic.
Yes. We are talking about tonight lending and borrowing money from people.
Yes. And it's funny because that's one of the jokes that I tell people. Because, everybody now is like, hey, you're family. You're not just my friend, you're my family. But the caveat that I always give people is that, there's one rule to being successful at family. Don't lend any money. Don't borrow any money. And you too can succeed at family. And
That's what Oprah says, your girlfriend.
if I could just get rid of that,
Right.
if I could just get rid of that pesky Stedman.
But that's what she says.
I mean, it's really better to be that way, because and I kind of try to live by it, because if I'm going to give somebody money, I'm not going to lend it to them, and if they need to borrow, or they need to be gifted more than I can afford to give them, that might be a red flag. That definitely might be a red flag.
I can understand that. I'm not going to say that I live and die by that. I understand the logic, because the last thing you want in a family type of relationship, or even in your friendships, is for it to dissolve over some money.
Over money.
You know? So, but it happens. It's happening right now somewhere. But I do feel like sometimes people just need a little help. They need just, and it may not even be like a lot, but it's a lot for them. They just need, you know what, sometimes people just need,
Just to carry them over.
Man, if I could be a month ahead, you know what I mean, my life would change. And so in those, like instances, you want to be able to help somebody, right? And you never know where you're going to be in life. Things change. And so
That's right.
I won't say, oh, I live and die by that. I understand it, but I don't. But I do understand what you said. Like, I want to gift you this because I don't want an issue.
Oprah said?
With
She
money.
says if she
said don't
don't
lend
ever
money
do it?
to friends and family. Don't
Oh,
do
okay.
that.
Okay.
You want your friends and family to be your friends and family? Don't do it.
Okay.
But I do understand your logic. It might be a problem if they need more than what you feel comfortable giving as a gift. But even if you're just lending the money, sometimes, and not sometimes, I think that it is fair game for you to ask and question, like, why do you need the money? A. B, I do feel like it's okay to ask that question. And B, why don't you have the money? Because these are the things that you need to take into consideration before you lend the money, especially if you're lending money that you really need back. Or if someone's asking for you to
That's true.
to hold money. Hold money means like I'm going to just hold it for a minute, I'm going to give it back. But I feel like in those instances you need really documentation. You need like a promissory note. And if someone has a problem signing a promissory note, then they probably aren't promising to pay it back.
Or anytime soon, at least, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's my problem with that. I understand your logic,
Yeah.
but I think a lot of times when a person has to go into all of that, they have to lower their dignity. And I mean, I guess in lending money, you might have to slide your dignity down a little bit, but I don't feel like I want to know people like that sometimes.
So you're saying that if somebody came to you and wanted to borrow money, you wouldn't want to know why?
Probably not.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Because I feel like if you're my friend,
most times they're going to tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But if you're my friend, you're not going to ask me for money unless all other possibilities have been exhausted. And then I feel like you lower your dignity when you like, man, and I had to eat beans all last week, and that's too much. Man, you need it. I'm sure you thought this out. I hope you didn't just wake up this morning and be like, you know what, I'm gonna call Gary and see how much money. You got any extra money? No, you called. You had a number. You had a plan. That's right.
Let me tell you why I say that. Mm-hmm. If you ask to borrow my car, mm-hmm. right, I'm going to say to myself, is he in the position? Is this person in the position to replace my car? Or if they total my car and I take their car, is it a fair trade? You know what I mean? I'm thinking about these things. And so I have to ask myself before you lend somebody money. You don't have to even ask all the questions that you're thinking like in your head, but you know their life if they're in your life, right? That they have the means to pay you back. You know this about people, right? You know that they haven't been eating beans. You see their lifestyle. You see. So some things you don't have to like ask, but I do feel like, a promissory note is a good thing. Having some sort of contract
I agree with that.
Is a great thing. And if you have good intentions, and if your word is you need to hold this money for 60 days, and I'm going to pay you back on, day 60, then you should pay me back on day 60. Especially if you're doing it for interest free. After day 60, maybe it's not interest free, And again, you have to be true to yourself. Am I giving money that I really need? Maybe you shouldn't do it then. You know what I mean? So that you won't be so pressed if there's 61 days or 90 days out,
But if it's a gift to begin with, I don't have to worry about getting it back. And see, there's an amount of money, I don't know what that number is, usually something that involves a comma, that it might necessitate some collection activity. I don't get my money, and I mean, all of the promissory notes, that's for lawyers and stuff like that. Man, I don't get my money back from you. I'm coming through your window.
I remember somebody.
Yeah, and I'm like,
it was a family member.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm like, man, I'm gonna need that.
And he was
Yeah.
older than you.
Yeah,
you had the street
well,
justice
I
on.
can't say with a relationship,
Right.
but no, but I mean, I had to clandestinely get up to his house, and I'm looking in the back window, and I'm like, man, dude, I'm gonna need that.
You pop up in the kitchen. He's like, "How'd you get in?
That's right.
Through the window?"
Oh my
From
goodness.
the window to the walls. No, I mean, so that's one part of it, and then I had another person who asked me to borrow money, and they needed the money to go on vacation.
Did they tell you that?
Yes,
Okay.
and I,
You didn't do it.
nah.
Yeah, because it was.
You need to stay at home.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
you need to get your priorities in
I
order.
agree with that.
Right.
But you've had people ask you for cosmetic surgery money too.
Yes.
Yeah, and I disagree with that too.
I mean, if I was the sugar daddy, then
Well, if you were the
Yeah.
boyfriend, or if you were the husband, it wouldn't be the same thing. But
But if I'm sugar daddy, or man, I was, you're gonna get your tuition paid, or you're gonna get this, then yeah, I'm open to something like that. But it's still a gift. It's not like hey, when you blow up or whatever, no. It's like, hey, go get bigger or brighter or taller or whatever. Go do it.
And even with the instance of the vacation money, like I don't know, I guess I'm different because I would look at the person and I'm like, if this is someone who is always there for somebody, is always on the front line for them, and they just don't have the money to get away and have a reset, because I know how important getting away and getting relaxation and rest and just rejuvenating yourself is. I might do that though. But I might do that as a gift, like you, versus you pay me back, because I feel like you need that, and I want that for you.
And I've had people, tell me crazy stuff about borrowing money. Like, I had somebody tell me that they wanted to borrow the money from me because they didn't want to take it out of their savings account.
No, that you
oh
can't have
yeah,
it.
no. So let me say
Right.
this: as far as borrowing or loaning money, I should say, I do feel like you shouldn't give it out if you can't afford to lose it. I mean, that's an old saying. I don't know where it came from, but I absolutely agree with it.
It came from my grandmother. I was sitting right there when she said it. She coined it, like right there.
But your grandmother was a wise woman.
Yes, she
Because
was.
I totally agree with that. And I like the idea of a promissory note, even if it's a friend
Even
or
if it's a
family.
friend.
I think that just,
Keeps it clean.
it does. It keeps it so much neater so that you don't have to do street justice like, the hood dairy that comes
and
out.
that's y'all. That's wonderful, and
Well, I mean-
it could end up in a legal situation, whatever.
It probably
It's not-
won't,
It
but
won't
just
because of
knowing
that,
that,
yeah.
and knowing that you have a promissory
They can't
note.
do that. I forgot that I borrowed this from you,
Yeah.
because people selective memory.
But remember when I
become a
told
real
you the
disorder.
story about my family member, and the thing that I ended up telling, and I don't want to say that person's gender, but the thing that I ended up telling that person was that you didn't pay me back because you lacked the proper motivation. So I increased his I increased
I knew where
their
this was going.
I increased their motivation, and it's amazing how with the right motivation, people just do the right things.
I believe that's true too.
And so within that, it's just a situation where it's not gonna end up. This ain't ending up in court with me. You don't pay me back my money, then I'm gonna get you motivated like you need to be.
So let me.
Let me finish what I was going to say.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. Let me finish. 'Cause you guys have been talking. I just want to get this out. I think that when people come to you and ask you for money, like you said, they have exhausted all possibilities, maybe not even physically, but in their heads, like, oh, I can't go here and I don't want to. And I think that when you're, because I don't know about you two, but I've been in a position where I've had to ask for money from someone, and I didn't feel judged because they didn't ask me, well, what is it for? What do you need it for? But I did tell them. Like one
You did
time
tell
when
them,
I was a
right.
victim of identity theft, and I was like, and everything was just going crazy, and somebody just came and gave me their credit card, like, here, just use
Do what
this.
you need to do.
Do what you need to do, and which I thought was wonderful. So, but if I know people who if you ask them for money, luckily I haven't had to ask this person, but I know someone who is very like, well, I need to know what it's for, and she's very judgy. And who wants that?
Who wants that?
Who wants that? It makes you feel even smaller. But go ahead.
There's a reason for
finger.
that, because it should be a little bit uncomfortable to ask for money. It shouldn't be like excruciatingly painful.
Yeah.
But it should not be something like, you know what, man, I'm just gonna blow my money at the boat, and I'm gonna call Janae, I'm gonna call Kim. It ain't gonna. No, I ain't calling them niggas. They in a trip, but they not easy either. So it should be a little bit uncomfortable.
I agree with that too.
And it shouldn't be something like, well, here's what you need. Here's what you. And if I got it, you all know me. I'm giving it.
But if you have a person that is consistently asking you, that's a red flag. A person who is coming to you for, like, every month, I need money for groceries. I need money, like, for little things. If it's an emergency, that's one thing. Mm-hmm. But if it's a person that is consistently asking, that's a red flag. That's a person who needs to do a budget.
And no, big aha moment, but my thought was your thought when you were like, let me finish this. I was like, okay, well, that was my thought. So,
about the budget track?
No, about just borrowing money if someone
constantly.
Yeah, well, no, not that part, but the one that you said before. Simply that if they're asking you for money, then they in their mind have exhausted all other areas.
Even if they haven't physically done it.
Even if they haven't, but in their mind they have.
Right.
But then again, there are people that have exhausted all of them,
and they can't because they burned bridges.
They didn't pay it back,
yep.
or they've asked too many times, and so now this person who you would think would never ask you for money, because you all aren't really like that, they're asking you for money.
Right.
So you do have to have some discernment going on and say, now why are they asking me out of all people?
Right, exactly. I shouldn't even be in the top 50.
I shouldn't. Right.
At the end of the day, people don't necessarily count your money, but they kind of have an idea of what they think that you're holding.
Right.
And, if you don't, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. So if you don't complain, or you're never like, well, I can't do it, I'm broke, they're like, she got money, she always be doing stuff, I see her out all the time, blah,
it's
blah,
kind
blah.
of like the Heights, somebody you haven't seen since grammar school. They knocking on your door. My car's down the street, and I got this baby that I need to drop off to the mama, and it's all this. And they're like, "Can I have $20? Can I borrow $20? I bring her back. No, you can have this 20.
Don't take 50. You know, man.
Right. Don't come back. And that's happened to me before too.
Me too.
But
everybody's gotten that one.
You just give them money. That's not money that you ever expect to get back.
No.
But when people do ask you for money and they are not in your
circle,
right, never on your radar for this kind of thing, you do have to say, I don't know.
Yeah.
A promissory note, if you do it, which I probably wouldn't do it, is absolutely a necessity.
Yeah.
You don't do that. And I understand, Gary, you I don't want to get involved in it, so if I'm going to give you some money, I'm going to give you the money.
I'm going to give it to you.
I get that. But you also have to be very accustomed to saying no to people too, because if you don't want to give it to them, you aren't going to give it to them.
Well, like I said, with the proper motivation, if it were a loan, and I mean somebody at this point, I'm like, man, let me get the Rolex, or let me get this, or let me get that. Let me hold on to it.
You would ask for collateral?
I don't think that's a bad idea at all.
Yeah,
because really,
that's something I hadn't even thought about.
You should take that Rolex to the pawn shop and get you some money, and when
some
you get
of my money back,
go get your item.
Well, I wouldn't send a person to do that, because I know that.
Don't they sell your item though?
No, they'll hold it
if you for 30 days.
Yeah.
Oh.
But if you tell
or
them
you can do 2 months, 6 months, whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know what a person had to go through in a lot of cases to get a Rolex, so I wouldn't advise them to sell it. I would work with them a little bit on that. But
you would hold it.
If I were to lend money, I probably would.
Yeah.
Because it's like, man, I don't, and I mean, we talking grown folks money. If we talking something with a comma in it, then I'm gonna probably need you to collateralize that.
Yeah. And I think that's 1,000% fair.
The promissory note, that suggests that we're gonna get the lawyers involved, and I may or may not get my money back. If I got
maybe
your
if
stuff,
it's no collateral, you
right. If Even with the collateral, I'm not doing that. And you can lie and go tell the police I robbed you and all of that. I don't care. I fight it, and man, I do the time. I don't care.
Excuse me. I think it's just a great idea.
Would you let somebody borrow your car? Janae was talking about.
Absolutely.
Okay. It depends on who.
I have
Now,
insurance.
if they don't have a car.
I have insurance.
Yeah.
I ain't upside down.
It
They
depends
probably
on
gonna
your
do.
driver
They
record.
crash out.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you know,
I don't want my insurance. I'm not the ticket girl. I'm not the accident girl. I don't want State Farm raising my rates.
I mean, there are certain people, but it just wouldn't be somebody who's not on my list.
I recently borrowed a friend's car, and I had it for about a month, and I was transitioning. I mean, you all know the story, but
Right.
America doesn't. So I was transitioning from cars, and I was trying to figure it all out, and I borrowed this car for a month, and the friend was very gracious, and did it in a very good way. And I appreciated it so much that I went back. I pulled a plate from the state to make sure that I didn't have any, and the city to make sure I didn't have any red light tickets. And I told him, I said, hey, there were 2 out there that were actually before me, but I went ahead and took care of them because I appreciate it. If you get anything in the next, 3 months, let me know. I'll take care of it as well. And I mean,
nice.
I try to be an adult about it. And it was a good situation. And there's no, part of the story where the bottom falls out.
Right.
And then I was arrested and he had meth in the car. No, it didn't happen like
Dead body in the
that.
Trunk.
Right. Right. Pictures of my mom naked. No, it wasn't none of that. None of that. It was it was a great situation, a great friend. And I mean, I want to have that spirit. If I have it, if somebody needs it, why wouldn't I?
And I think that you should. I just think you should be responsible. You are responsible with the way you care for the car. You're responsible for the way you return the car. You're responsible from beginning to end. And you showed your gratitude. Everybody's not going to, if they don't have any skin in the game, as someone once told me, if they don't have any skin in the game, they don't appreciate it to the level that they would if they did. So if you don't have anything to lose in this, nothing, they aren't really losing anything.
For me, my word means everything. If I say I'm going to do something, I want to do that. And I generally operate, that is my friend circle. People, what they say they do. And what they do, they say. So I try to operate in that space. Not everybody is who we think they are. And sometimes I get my feelings hurt. I get let down. But
Couple burns.
yeah, the rug burn. Oh man, that's my shoulder. But I feel good about my friend circle now. My family, they pretty much have all identified themselves as to who they are. Will they pay back? Are they being responsible? Because that's another thing. If you're just running out here doing crazy stuff,
And be like, I'm going to just call Gary.
yeah, man, he's my
his
safety
jam.
net.
Right.
Nah.
You out here at the boat,
You got a recreational cocaine habit. You
but
don't
then
know.
you call Gary. Yeah. And that's another thing. Repeat offenders, right?
Mm-hmm.
You help somebody, you lend money to help somebody out of a jam so that they can get ahead. That's the whole idea behind it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if they keep getting themselves in this jam and they know you have it, so they're going to keep coming to you for it, and then you become an enabler, basically, is what I'm saying. You aren't helping them.
That's what I'm saying.
You're hurting them.
If they keep coming to you month after month or every other month on the first,
Right.
it's like this consistency. There's
You're
something
like, you are not
wrong.
my college child.
Yeah.
But speaking of college children, I have a lot of nieces and nephews, not official nieces and nephews, but they're at college.
Right.
And I've had to have that relationship. And I mean, you all know that being away at school, it's nothing like in our day, calling somebody and they would send you $100. It was like,
You're rich. I'm rich.
right. God, hook me. Thank you. I'm going to church this Sunday.
Right.
So
After I go to Pazio's.
I don't know. Cosby.
Pizza. Good pizza.
Oh, man. And we're getting to the Mad Dog 2020. On me, all the flavors. But I mean, I've had to have that relationship with a lot of my nieces and nephews that are away at school. In fact, one in particular who went to SIU of all places, and she banked at Fifth Third. And instead of wiring her the money, I was like, man, let me open up an account at Fifth Third, dump some money in there, and I can just go on the computer and do it. And she would call me probably once a month. Mm-hmm. And it didn't bother me because, her situation was such that wasn't something that was taught to her. So I can't expect her in the middle of the game to play by the rules. I need to explain the rules. I need to teach the rules. Did you? Yeah.
You explain the rules?
Mm-hmm. Okay. I need her to, you need to figure out how your money works.
How to budget it.
How to budget.
Yeah.
That's good.
You drive a truck, you live a mile and a half. She lived by the mall and drove a truck.
Because if that child is close enough to ask, or close enough for you to give them money, you're close enough to teach them how to budget.
Mm-hmm. And something I don't think that parents do this enough for children. If you pay your bills online, why are you not having your child do that for you? Your child needs to understand that yes, you do bring in this amount of money every month, but then you got rent, car note, insurance, phone. Then at some point, if it's really not going well, this is the end of your money, and this is your needs. You beyond what you have. Kids need to understand money, and I don't think that we as parents teach them that a lot of times.
Did your parents teach you? My parents didn't teach me that.
No, my parents just told me to, be strong.
Teach me that. Be strong.
My mother was all about the budget, girl.
That's good. That's really good.
Sagittarius thing
good.
is for real.
My parents did not teach me that, but I was an only child, so it was, and I wanted to work. Life was just different as an only child. When I listened to other people, you're just given everything. They don't want you to work. They don't want you to do this, that, and the other. So it was very sheltered. So in college, I was bouncing checks everywhere. I could not. And in high school, they taught us.
I don't even see you like that.
And in high school, I had this class, some type of financial literacy class, whatever, in high school. We were learning about checks, but in college, my freshman and sophomore year, I was like, I don't understand. I mean, I wrote a check. It's not my fault they didn't take the money.
Right.
I did not understand.
It took them 4 days to get the money out. How they gonna just let it sit in my account like that?
I was looking at it, and I'm looking at, because the checks were in duplicates. You look at the carbon copy. I was like, well, I thought I had $400 in my account. I don't understand. I wrote the check for $25. Girl, checks was bouncing all over DeKalb. It was ridiculous. My parents were like, and they just kept replenishing. They weren't teaching me how to. It takes a while for the checks to go in. That escaped me. I thought that as soon as I handed the check over, it was like a credit card. They just swiped and took the money out. I was like,
she going to the cash station, but I came up.
I was such a bubblehead in college. I just with money and bouncing. It was ridiculous. So I didn't learn about financial literacy probably until my senior year in college. And then, I got married early, so my ex-husband was teaching me, so it was a process. So if you don't have somebody to teach you early, that's...
I want to take this just a little different place real quickly. We can come back to this stuff. But do you know any relationships that have, fallen apart because one of the partners in the relationship lended money, or I want to talk a little bit about that since. Absolutely.
I mean, the most common one is that, that person either has a parent or a sibling that is borrowing money, and at some point that money either impinges on the family budget or the family money.
Sounds like somebody got something to say.
Or in another way, maybe it impinges on what that other mate who was not lending the money was going to ask that person to do. So at some point, it goes over the line because we got our money, my money, and the money, and so when that person's needs go into our money or the money, once it exceeds your money, then that's a problem. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I know you want the floor.
I was just Because somebody
Amen.
I know was building a house and was also expecting a baby, and then their mother-in-law was also asking. Not, I won't say begging. That's a strong word. Their mother-in-law was asking for money for tires for her new Lexus. So yes, I'm familiar with that.
You're familiar with that.
Money going out of the household.
And then when it's
for
like
a family member,
an autonomous decision instead of a community discussion / decision is where I think it really can get foggy.
That's a big thing. You have to communicate that. There can't be a situation where, you find out at some point, either A, when it goes wrong, or B, when it's, it's at a point where, we need this money, where did it go? Mm-hmm. You did what to who? When? Mm-hmm. That's a problem. You have to, I think that's definitely something that has to be communicated. And especially if you cross family lines. Like, it's one thing for me to give some money to my mother or my father or my sibling. But then when I lend money to your family member and do it unbeknownst to you, that's a problem.
Yeah. And in that vein, you loan the money to the person, right? Mm-hmm. They owe you all, because if you're married or if you're with someone, they owe you all. But then that person hasn't exactly paid you. But then you see them go out and they buying new cars,
new furniture every month.
Going on trips, but they haven't paid you back
fondue. Yet. You can't afford fondue when you broke.
So my point exactly. So yeah, they lack the proper motivation.
Yeah.
To pay it back.
I have God rest her soul. I have an aunt who was very messy, and she would always do it to just establish the pattern. So if she were married, she would borrow money from the spouse of the family member. So,
okay, not the family member.
Yeah, not the family member.
Okay.
And so then she would turn around.
Would she say, "Don't tell so and so"?
Don't tell. But then she would do some real messy stuff and get the money back to
the family
who didn't know.
Oh yeah, get this to your husband because he gave this to me to. And she's like, huh?
What?
Right.
What y'all got going on?
Right.
So she was just very messy.
That is very messy.
And this, that's part of the whole don't lend any money, don't borrow any money. If you didn't do anything, you can't get in trouble. It's impossible. You can get accused, but you can't get in trouble. It's impossible.
Yeah. Messy family, messy people I try to stay away from, but yeah.
Family, you can't get away from them.
But sometimes people don't show you those. I don't even know if messy is like across the board. I think financial situations is a whole different entity. They could be the best person in the world, but they are terrible with money. Mm-hmm. And, which may be the reason why you loan it to them. But you don't find out these things until after you loan it to them. You don't get it back. And you're like, okay. We could be cool. Never doing that again with you.
And I just think at this age, if you don't have it, just say that. Hey, I don't know if I'm gonna pay you back whenever, if ever, and I can live with that. But again, when I lend you the money,
if ever, I don't know.
If you tell me that up front, you let me know what I'm doing.
Ask me to have it
because he has street justice.
Don't even use the word lending and borrow.
Gary's like, don't worry about it because I got my back.
He's cleaning his.
Can't you make it seem like I'm rappelling down the side of somebody's house and kicking in through the window? Where my money at?
Your back in between your teeth. You got machetes back here.
Gary, you can come pick up the money. He's cleaning his gun while you picking it up. Yeah. So when you go pay me back.
But if it's a gift, then if you come and say I'm not gonna not take it if you give it back to me, hey, that's too much for me. I can't do that, man. I'm not really built like that. I'm a man. I don't take gifts. Here, okay, here's your money. Thank you very much. I'm not gonna argue with you. But if I give it to you, I'm not expecting it back. And then none of the street justice. Ninja machete, none of that happens. I'm just
brass knuckles.
Nothing.
Karate Kid can stay at home.
Right. I ain't gotta repossess your rims, no, we good. We super good. And it's just, that's been my experience. I don't advise that for everyone because not everyone has my level of tolerance.
Have either one of you seen this type of thing break up a marriage? This whole lending, borrowing money,
No, I
not
haven't
communicating
seen that.
it to who you're lending and borrowing from.
I've seen it strain a marriage immensely. I've seen it to where, the mother and the daughter had a messy relationship. The spouse was the husband was the person who was not truly in the family, and he was lending money to the mother, and it was a problem.
Let me ask you this question. What if you, obviously, like, you are the breadwinner in the relationship, in the marriage, wherever it is, and you're friends with a lot of your exes, and one of your exes, asked you for some money, and you didn't, and you're like, okay, cool, let me gift you this money because you don't like to loan money, and you didn't really tell your
I'm not doing that. I'm telling my girl.
You're telling your girl. No one's going to
Good
be
for
able
you.
to have that kind of information.
Good for you.
It's
And
just
she not know. That's how I feel.
it's not even me protecting her in that sense. It's just more of
Respect.
I wouldn't want her to do that to me.
Yeah.
There you go.
I wouldn't want to find out what
Right.
you've been sending the money for 2 years.
Right. There you go.
I don't need that. She's
Yeah.
gonna know
Why catch smoke over something silly?
that I'm not doing.
Yeah.
And people like your aunt was messy. You never know. This person
She
may be like,
definitely
you know what?
was.
Let me give her the money back. Give this to Gary. He loaned me this. Huh? What? Right.
Or in this world of Facebook, my baby dad, let me, no, we not doing that. I'm telling my girl, like, hey, she asked me, I got it. It's
And
not going to hurt.
What if she felt like, I don't want you to give it to her?
And we're going to have a discussion about that. And I'm going to tell her that, man, I heard you. And this is my money. And I'm going to do it. I'm letting you know. I'm not asking for permission. I'm doing it for information. I'm letting you know so you will know. But it's going to happen. It's not, this ain't a negotiation. I'm going to do it. I just didn't want you to find out about it at a time that was not opportune for me. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to say that.
Okay.
That don't mean I'm going to get away with it or, I'm real gangster sitting right here in the chair.
Talking to the two of us.
What, huh?
Talking to us.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I'm gangster on TV, but in real life, I'll probably be like, look, baby, I hear you, and I really want to do this. This is important. And I'm telling you because I don't want it to, because this is a good thing. I don't want it to become a bad thing. And I don't want you to make it into a bad thing. So please allow me to do this.
That sounds a little better.
It does.
Yeah,
It's my money. I'm going to do it. I'm just informing you that I'm doing it. Right.
I didn't have to tell you.
All of that.
No, I mean, I'm like I say, I'm extremely gangster in this chair on TV, but not so much in real life. And I mean, not in the relationship that I'm trying to stay in. I mean, my current person, I really, 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 truly adore them. And I do not want that to be a situation that I mess up over some stuff I'm not even doing.
Right.
Right, that's
or
good.
For it
That's
to
good.
even look like that.
That's good.
Because perception is very much so
Yeah.
Yeah.
reality.
Perception, optics, all that stuff matters.
Yeah.
And people hate your happiness. So, somebody that would be in that situation, for me, it was me helping out a friend or doing a good thing.
Right.
And for them, it was part of their grand plan. And if I fall into it by not telling my partner,
There you go.
Yeah.
that's stupid.
You're right. Because
That's
some
it.
people have like little schemes.
Absolutely. Backdoor schemes.
Yeah, and they don't want to see you happy. So because they're not happy, those are miserable people.
Yep.
It's a whole different topic. I don't want to veer off too much, but you're right about that.
No, I'm definitely gonna communicate that.
Yep.
And if I get some pushback, then I'm gonna try to work through that. I mean, I would like to believe that I could work through it, and it wouldn't be something no, I'm planting the flag, but
Right.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna put that out there. I'm gonna say it, and we're gonna work through it and get to a point where it's comfortable for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
So let's talk about Sunday, shall we?
Yes, we
good
should.
talk, guys.
Yeah, it was a very good talk.
Mm-hmm.
Very good talk. So Sunday, just in case you're just joining us,
We have in person.
we will be in person in Chicago Sunday, September 14th from 3 to 6 p.m. at Fat Burger Chatham.
825.
East 87th Street, Chicago, Illinois, 60617.
Just in case you want to write us a letter. So,
Any of that.
How much is a stamp piece?
right.
Get them
So
forever stamps. They always good.
go to either one of our pages, our personal pages, our branded Conversations Overheard page, and you'll see the Eventbrite link. Or if you're
there.
following us on Eventbrite, because I know many of you are, you can look it up there too and join us. Get a ticket, join us, because we love the in-person events.
Absolutely. Everybody
Live for that. I know.
Yeah.
Love them.
It is
Everybody
a
walks
really
away happy.
good time, guys.
It is.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's going to be a lot of great things because obviously you're going to have very stimulating conversation.
Right.
But you're also going to have the musical stylings of DJ Clayton Maston.
Right.
And
or
onion
DJ
rings.
Clay. Onion rings. We even are going
You
to
sounded like a backup DJ.
And,
DJ playing onion rings.
and onion rings. I haven't had onion rings in years, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And we're going to try some of the shake products. You're going to get a basic sampling of a lot of the items that they have at Fat Burger, and I think that you're going to truly enjoy it.
Yeah. Good music, good people, good food, and like out of sight conversation.
Onion rings.
I
And
think
if
you're
you're
going to
lucky,
get the vegan
And
shake.
if you're
I'm gonna
lucky,
get that vegan shake.
somebody might do a dance for you.
Hey, you know I will, you guys. It doesn't
Kidding.
take much to get me dancing.
Just kidding.
All you have to do is show up. She will dance.
All right.
It doesn't
Let's
take
not
much.
hype her up. She might start singing.
It doesn't take much.
I love her. Okay.
Little
All right,
dance
guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you guys on Sunday.
September 14th. Go to our page, get your ticket, because we are excited.
We
3 to
are.
6 p.m.
Fire topics, guys.
Yes.
Fire topics. I'm going to sign
The
up.
Links had a party. I shut that place down. I danced all darn night. Oh, I was like, where's my phone?